play some Mysteria. Ikuzo. I admit to you my injury is more than a scrape, but I must reiterate that I wasn't bitten. This will heal before long. Yeah, so everyone at this, like, household has been getting injured. Like, this guy got bitten by a snake, I think? The old lady gets, like really sick. Like, she's bedridden right now. And then a maid got pushed down the stairs. We found out one of the maids was dating, the old lady's son, who was upset at his dad that died. So I have a feeling, I wonder if it's the maid that, like, dated him that's doing all this, because she's, like, salty that they're no longer dating or something. I think fucking Rockstar released a port of Manhunt, and someone cracked open the file, and it was a pirated version of the game. Had the signature of the crackers. Wait, was that the one that was all fucked up on Steam? That, like, no one could play? Because, like, it had, like, anti-something protection, and it detected it as, like, going against that protection? Is it that game? I think it could be played. I don't remember. I watched, like, a whole video on Manhunt. I think I watched it with Lucian, Dwarf, and Magi. Like, you couldn't, like, do half of shit in-game because it, like, you couldn't pick up, like, you couldn't pick up first aid packs or anything. What? Am I correct that it was Madame Janet who was attacked? When she mentioned the attack in the garden, she spoke as though she blamed herself for the incident. I wonder if I can find the video. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Was it this one? Manhunt hidden anti-piracy measures? I don't remember. I'll find it later. I'll link it on the Discord when I find it. I keep flip-flopping between usually nauseous and fine. This is annoying. Oh, that sucks, Dwarf. I'm sorry. Also, do you know that one Manhunt video that we watched? Do you, like, know the link for it? When she mentioned the attack in the garden, she spoke as though she blamed herself for the incident. She has no reason to blame herself for anything. All she's done is care for the creature her husband held dear. It, however, became aggressive in nature after its fangs were stolen, made to attack her anytime she approached. I feel it is well within my duty to defend her. What? Oh, we were just talking about it. But I didn't remember the video. So there you go, Linux. If you want to watch the video on the Manhunt Steam release, there you go. Who would steal a snake's fangs? Probably someone that wants to sell it? Oh. Might it be related to the swamp adder's neurotoxin? You remember our lessons from Mr. Underwood, don't you? There are several kinds of poisons and such, including ones that can result in paralysis and heart failure. I wouldn't forget. They're all terrifying. Indeed. The master originally brought that snake from India, and its skin and fangs are considered exceptionally valuable. It would not be a shock to learn a visitor spread word of an exotic snake being raised here. An exotic shake! Shake, shake, shake! It's disgraceful to know anyone would harm the animals my master left behind. And what for? Money? truly disgraceful. Yeah, I think it's the maid. That's the vibe I'm getting. Like the maid was going out with the son that was like thinking that she was gonna get like a lot of money from it, and then the dad dies, and then the dad doesn't give inheritance to the son, and she gets pissed off, so she takes it out on everyone. But the stable is always locked, is it not? We're only in here due to the key you possessed. Correct. Only those who work at the mansion should have access to the key to unlock the stable. So, how could the thief have gotten hold of it? Why would someone want to steal a snake's fangs? Money is a possibility, but it's only one. If all we needed is a key to commit the theft, and only those who work at the mansion have one, then our list of suspects has been narrowed. Lot frowned. I suggested to Madame Janet that we might consult with her son regarding the issue. I think we should talk to him though. I think the person is related to the son. Yet she did not want to cause him undue worry and refused to entertain the idea. Now say it in red. He would want to know, I imagine. He's already lost his father. Watson remained deep in thought. I think we've seen all we can. Shall we go visit Madame Janet? Yes, I think so. Watson and I returned to the room where Madame Janet was waiting. Were you able to discover any clues? Well... Watson took no effort to cloak his discomfort. Or, it was more accurate to say, he was simply not very good at hiding his emotions. When she tried to look him in the eyes, he avoided her. If it's alright, I have a few questions upon our investigation. I was uncertain, but it was prudent to follow through with the many questions swirling about my mind from our investigation. We were told that you spend much of your time in the study. Have you ever felt at all poorly during those times? Well, yes. Feeling unwell is nothing unusual in here. I did find that all of my symptoms grew worse on rainy days and the day after. Oh, whoops. Thank you. I'd also like to ask about the time that you were attacked by the stairs in London. Did you happen to catch a glimpse of the culprit's face? Anything you can remember would be of great help. If only I did. It all happened suddenly. I was so frightened that I didn't think to observe my surroundings. Oh. The maid said it was like a long-haired female, so it's two people working together? The only thing I could tell you is that the arm that pushed me was muscular enough to belong to a man. So maybe it's the maid and the son? Madame Janet hung her head apologetically. It was muscular. Clearly, it's a buff maid. So true. I hope she bench presses me. I was able to grasp the nearby handrail to avoid a complete fall, but had Sophia not come to my aid, that may not have ended well for me. Sophia was the one that was dating her child, right? I think.
本当に
I owe more than I
私は
can
みんな
say
に
to
助
the
けら
people
れてばか
around
りで
me,
すわ
to Sophia
ソフ
and
ィ
to
アにも
Lot
ロト
and to
にも
Ash as well.
もちろんアー
Could
シェ
be
に
the
も
butler. Well, one of them said it was female, and one of them said it was male.
私
So what I was thinking was it was her son and his girlfriend, who's one of the maids. But I might be wrong.
家族同然です
God has blessed me with the most wonderful servants. I consider them all my family.
それなのに
That's why it pains me so much to know I must leave them
遺
in the
産相
mansion
続のために
tomorrow.
3人を残してこの屋敷を離れなければならないなんて
I know I've asked plenty of at this point,
最後
but
にもう一つ
may
だ
I ask one last question?
けよろしいですか？
ええなんでしょう
Certainly.
亡くなったご主人は
Did your late husband love
ミ
meat
ートパイ
pies?
がお好きでしたか？
ミートパイ？
嫌いではなかったけれど、 そんなに進んで食べるような人ではありませんでしたわ息子のテッドは好物でしたけれど
I cannot say he disliked them, but he wasn't a fan of them as such. Our son, on the other hand, could never get enough of them. Don't leave out the possibility that they could be a crossdresser or a trans person. That is true.
そうですか。
Thank you.
おかしいわ。ソフィアさん。
Sophia sus. How queer that Sophia told us differently.
テッドさんがあまり素行が良くなかったというのは本当ですか？
I'd like to ask something also. Is it true Ted's behavior has always been a bit of a problem? The aura surrounding the madam grew grave in an instant.
いきなりすみません。そんな話を耳にしたので。
I hope I haven't offended by asking something so sensitive. It's just we've not heard as much as we would have liked during the investigation. You've done no such thing. It's
事
true.
務所でお伝
I
え
should
せ
have
ず
told you as much when we were at your office.
テッドは
Ted was
そ
the
の
one. Well,
時々遊び
Ted
す
was
ぎ
what
ると
one
ころ
might
があり
call
ま
an
して
extravagant spender.
屋敷
He'd
のお
taken
金
our
を持
money
ち出
to
すこ
fund
と
his
をたび
evenings
た
on
びあ
more
り
than
ま
one
した
occasion.
多少のこ
I
とは
turned a
多めに見
blind
てい
eye
ま
to
し
it
たが
initially, but
テッドと
my
ソフィ
husband
ア
and
が
I
本
could
気
do
で
so
交
no
際をしてい
longer
ると
upon
分
our
かった
discovery
時
that
は
he and Sophia
さすが
were in
に
a
私も
serious
主人も
relationship.
驚いて
Was that serious? Or were they hoping to marry one day?
考えていたってことですか？
ええ
They were.
ですが
But we
許
wouldn't
す
allow
わ
that
け
to
にはいきま
happen.
せんでした
Ted has a duty to inherit the
テッドに
family
は将
name
来
first and foremost.
この
Okay,
家を
Ava
継いでもらわなけれ
Ushidomiya.
ばいけませんから
Holy shit, is her child Heinley?
気の毒なことをしましたが
The links we went
テ
to
ッ
were
ドが屋敷を出
unfortunate,
てい
but
ったことで
Ted leaving the mansion has all but severed their love affair.
今でも
Yet I cannot sever my feelings of remorse towards Sophia.
思っていますわ
She remained ever gloomy. Yeah, sounds like it was Sophia and her son that's doing all this then.
あら
Because they're pissed
も
off
う
at
こんな
them.
時間だわお二人の最終の列車に間に合うかどうか
Heavens, is that the time? Will you make the last train?
もうそんな時間ですか？
You're right, I had no idea it was this late. No, it was Watson who appeared most despondent. This wasn't right. So much here was left unsolved, but what to do? What to say?
奥様、大変厚かましいお願いなのですが、よろしいですか？
Pardon me, I say this knowing full well this is bold of me, but might we ask you a favor?
どうしましたワトソンさん
Anything at all.
私もホームズも明日奥様がここを立つギリギリまで事件解決を諦めたくありません。
Neither of us wish to give up on this case till the very last second before your departure.
可能であれば一晩だけ止めていただけませんか？
Ooh.
ここまで捜査したんです。途中で投げ出すことなんてできません。
Would you permit us then to spend the night here? We've come this far with our investigation. We want to see it to its conclusion. Is the maid gonna try and kill us in our sleep? Miss Watson. His eyes widened. But I meant my words. I had no inclination to turn my back on this case without seeing it through to completion.
ジャネット夫人がこの屋敷を離れるのは明日。
Tomorrow, the madam departs for the signing.
犯人は
The culprit is sure to want to finish their work before the inheritance process is complete. Tonight is their last chance.
それなら今夜が最後のチャンス。
And to my great pleasure, she granted our request. I asked Madame Janet for permission to use the telephone in the mansion's guest room. She granted that as well, and I promptly rung up Pendleton to inform him of my plans for the evening.
ワトソンの手伝いが長引いたか
I
ら
expressed the need to stay at the office after work was taking longer than intended. I do hope he believes me. Oh, he's gonna be pissed off at you.
最後の方は
I admit to not paying close attention to what he said near the end of the call, but I suspect a lecture is waiting for me once I step through the front door.
お説教かもしれないわね。
Yep.
大丈夫だったのか
Was it alright to lie to him,
ベルトさんに
Emily?
嘘なんかついて
犯人を捕まえる
I
た
should
め
think
に
I
も
had no choice if we want to catch our criminal. It had to be done.
ごめんなさいペンデルトン。
Forgive me, Pendleton, but I'm just not ready
こ
to
こで
go
帰るわけ
home.
にはいかないの。
でも警察にまで連絡を入れ
It
る
was
な
a
んて
daring move on your part to contact the police as well.
何かが起こって
It'll
から
be
じゃ
too
遅い
late to
わ
contact them after something's
真
happened.
相を明らかに
Finding
し
the
ても
criminal isn't enough.
犠牲
We
者
need
が
to
出てしま
stop
う
them
な
from
ら
hurting
元
anyone.
も子もないもの。
君まるでホームズみたいなこと言うんだな
You sound like Holmes now.
あら、今はあなたがホームズで私がワトソンでしょ。
More than you? I sound more like Watson if you must know.
そうだったな誰もいないからつい
Of course. I suppose I forgot to keep up the show when we were alone.
でもミス・ワトソン君緊張してるのか
I wish they kept like the Miss Watson in the actual translation of the script. I find it cute when I hear him calling her Miss Watson. Is any of this making you feel anxious? You sound chipper, but you don't look it in the slightest.
あなたは平気なの？
Are you suggesting you aren't?
ごめんめちゃくちゃ緊張してる
Not one bit. I'm very anxious.
やっぱり
I thought so. Same. Yeah. I don't get why translations will do that sometimes. Just remove references to names when you can hear them saying their names.
だけど君の言葉で
Come on, guys, keep up the fake marriage
この事故を
trope.
途中で投げ出すなんて俺もできない
Still, you said something that made me realize that I could never turn my back on this case.
最後までちゃん
We
と解
won't
決
stop
したい
till
んだ
it's solved. Not least for the madam's
誰
safety.
かの自分を守るためにも
Our determination was renewed so wondrously that even with the day having been an eventful one thus far, we had the spirit to furnish our inquiries with answers.
異変の始まりは1ヶ
Our
月前
mystery truly began when Madame Janet's husband passed away from a heart attack. Damn it, another weird dream. Where am I this time? Am I back inside the manor again? Dante, do your dailies. Dante!
まず最初にロトさんが沼マムシに襲われた件なんだけど
Shortly thereafter, Lot was attacked by the late master's swamp adder.
実際は
We later learned that it wasn't an attack at random, but a result of Lot protecting the madam. She said nothing of the incident to her son to avoid
心
worrying
配を
him.
かけまいとしていたみたいだけれど
Okay, but what if he's the one behind all this?
ああ
An important detail. Another one being the snake was recently robbed of its fangs.
ロトさんが言うよう
I
に
don't know why the thief committed the act.
蛇の牙
Lot
が
raised a viable possibility with the money one can pocket from a swamp adder's venom, but we lack evidence to support this. I think they might be using the venom to slowly poison, the lady.
どっちにしても
One thing we can be certain of is, it's unlikely anyone could steal the snake's fangs without sustaining some manner of injury.
I nodded fervently. I agreed with his assessment on all counts.
次に
We also cannot dismiss Ash's illness.
アーシェさんはご主人の書斎の掃除中に倒れてしまったのよね。頭痛と腹痛。それに
Yeah, what's up with the study smelling like that?
Her symptoms included severe headaches, stomach pains, and nausea, and she's one of the 2 people who cleaned the late master's study.
Yeah, because cleaning the study is making everyone get sick.
だけどこの症状はよく書斎を利用していたジャネット夫人にも共通してる。
And the other being Madame Janet, who shares her exact symptoms.
しかも2人とも雨の降った翌日に症状が悪化していたらしいし。
Yeah, I think we were saying before that it might be like black moss. They both claim their symptoms worsen on days after it rains also.
そう考えるとあの書斎に何か仕掛けられていた可能性が高いわ。
Oh, it's more than claim. We both know there's something suspicious going on in that room.
書斎は壁紙の色がベージュじゃなくてエメラルドグリーンだったけど、何か関係があるのか？
It does stand out when it's the only room with color. Might the wallpaper be related somehow? Is it drenched in poison?
エメラルドグリーン。
None can deflect the emerald splash.
Could it? Wait, I think I've got something.
私聞いたことあるの。エメラル
Huh.
ドグリーンの塗料には毒性のものが
So it
含まれ
really
ている
was
可能性がある
infused with the toxin.
There are indeed emerald green paints which contain a toxin.
だからもしかすると
That may well be our culprit.
なるほどな。
I see. Then our suspicions migrate more towards...
けれど
Uh-uh.
ジャネット夫
Must
人が
also
人間の
account for
手
the
に
affair with the
使わされた時
staircase.
彼女を助
It
け
was
たのは
Sophia who assisted her then.
それに
And Lot
ジャ
protected
ネ
her
ット
from
夫
the
人を
swamp
助け
adder.
たという点では
Hmm.
蛇で怪我を負ったロトさんも一緒だわ。もし
If one of her
3人
servants
の
were
うち誰か
targeting
が犯
her,
人だったと
would they go out of their way to help her when she was in
命を
need?
狙っている人を
I mean, it could make them look less suspicious if they help her.
そうだな。それに
True enough.
奇妙なことに
Facts as we know it are strangers still. No, this isn't the manor. There's almost no color except for that one weirdly green room. Let's keep looking around. They paid good money to have color in that room.
ジャネット夫人は突き飛ば
You
した
know how
犯人
T-Core
が
is.
とても太い男性の腕だったと話していたけど、
Madame Janet described the culprit's musculature to be that of a man's.
そう
You
ソ
remember,
フィアさんは
it is completely at odds with Sophia's testimony in which she recalls a slender woman.
Oh, but that was Sophia's testimony. Sophia's the one that's dating the son. So, and we've also seen that she has lied before with the meat pie thing. So I don't think we can really trust Sophia's testimony.
間違えるにしてもちょっと差が大きいような気がするな。どちらかが嘘の証言をしているとか？
If the difference was slight, I would think nothing of it. Not here. Could one of them have lied?
その可能性もあるわね。
There's a chance, I suppose.
屋敷の中に外部の者が侵入した形跡はなかったわ。
Another thing that strikes me is how there's been no evidence of a break-in over the course of our inspection. Nothing was amiss in the study outside of the wallpaper.
それに飼育小屋や書斎に入ることができるのは屋敷の人間に限られると思うの。
And recall, of course, that only those within the mansion have access to the stable.
だとしたら一体誰が彼女を狙っているんだ？
But who among those with access would target her? The sun. I think it's the sun.
Watson hung his head in his hands, thinking, racking his brain over our present conundrum.
3人ともこれといって動機も見当たらないし。
What do you mean?
話には関係ないだろうし。
Not one of the servants has an obvious motive. None of them relate to the inheritance issue. Are you dumb, Watson? One of the maids is dating the son that it like has an issue with the inheritance shit. Oh my god.
でもこの件で一番得をするのはテッドさんだよな。遺産相続は彼だろうし。
The one who does is Ted. Wouldn't he have the most to gain? He's next in line to claim the family fortune.
もし
If it isn't a matter of inheritance, then he would, yes. But he's been absent for half a year.
Watson, you rely too heavily on Holmes. No.
Or has he? What if the culprit is connected to
つな
him?
がりのある人物
Yeah,
だと
the
すれば
maid. The maid's doing his dirty work. They're accomplices.
ねえワトソン
I wish you would do dirty work with me.
Listen, Watson.
Though there was some hesitation lurking, I opened my mouth to speak.
今から私の考
I
え
have an idea, most ingenious, Watson. I have an idea. Will you hear it?
Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Twy. What do you have in mind?
Later that evening, Lud informed Watson and I that dinner was ready to be served. Madame Janet was already seated in the dining room. Her plate was sitting before her,
And waiting at both sides were Sophia and Ash. This shit's gonna be poisoned.
お待ちしていましたわ。アーシュ、食事を出してちょうだい。
It is an honor to have you join us. Ash, do set their plates.
Oh wait, hold on, my chat just got all fucked up. Let me fix this.
Dun, dun,
There we go. Oh, no, it fucked up again. You don't have to insult us. My chat got all fucked up. Listen. It got all, like, thin, and I couldn't read anything. Let me fix this. Okay, there we go. One of the maids, I can deal with the dirty work, pulls out a gun. Love a maid that could kill me.
はい奥様
with pleasure.
せっかく止めていただくんです。僕も手伝います。
Would you like for me to help? You've gone out of your way to let us stay, so it's the least I can do.
そんなお客様に手伝っていただくなんて
Oh, but we couldn't allow a guest to help. That just won't do. Oh, I think we should help so we can make sure that you're not poisoning shit, Sophia.
いきなり押しかけてしまったんです。これくらいさせてください。
Nonsense. We weren't invited the same as a common guest. Barged in more like. Please.
そのような威勢のいい持ち方をすると奥様のスープがこぼれて
You may wish to take a bit more care with the Madam Soup, or it shall.
で、
Oh!
ホームズ言ってるそばから
Holmes, you could stand to listen.
すみません。
I'm so sorry. This was meant to be for you, wasn't it?
これは僕が
Let
いただ
me
くので
take yours then. Please, madam, take mine. And then the maids freak out. No, don't take her soup! It's poisoned!
ええ
Thank you,
So
but I don't mind the first.
も
Oh, Holmes,
気
you
を
must
つけ
show
ない
better
と
form
ダメ
in
じ
the future.
ごめんごめん。
It truly was clumsy of me. I suppose I was a bit too excited.
美味しそうなスープ
The
ですね。
soup looks absolutely mouth-watering, you know?
早速いただ
Can't
き
wait
ま
to
す。
tuck in.
ダメよ
Don't. What? Okay. Again. Oh my god, this is so obvious. Literally the same thing happened with the lady that got poisoned, like, what, 2 chapters ago? This is a bit too obvious. Can you guys, like, mix it up a bit? Don't!
うしたの
What is
ソ
it,
フィア
Sophia?
Right when Watson placed the spoon to his lips, Sophia cried so sharply that it stopped all movement in the room. I knew it was you. I knew you poisoned it. There she stood, body trembling as one did from a fiercely cold draught, arms wrapped round her chest in self-embrace. Her eyes, meanwhile, were the only part of her that was steady. She focused with a horror-stricken expression at Watson's soup bowl. I'm still upset at that girl. Emily gonna specialize in poison cases at this rate. It's always the ladies that are like in love with someone that like poison someone. Poisoning her friend to get with her boyfriend. Yeah, at least this one is like poisoning her to get inheritance for her boyfriend, which like still is not good. Still is not good at all, but makes a bit more sense than the previous one. I'm glad I won't lead to anyone getting poisoned. Her eyes, meanwhile, were the only part of her that was steady. She focused with a horror-stricken expression at Watson's soup bowl.
皆さん
Beg
これ
pardon,
から少しの
but
間
would everyone here take a moment to indulge Miss Watson and I? That includes you, Sophia.
ご主人が亡くなって
In the
から
beginning, we thought the culprit behind the strange happenings since the late master's death was someone from outside the mansion.
外部のものの犯行だと考えてい
The
ました
things people do for love, huh? Yep.
ですがそれは違っていた
But we
全
thought
て屋
wrong.
敷内部のものに
It
よって
was, we
引き起こされた事
conclude,
件
the
だ
work of someone inside the mansion.
旦那様と
Someone in
奥
this
様
very room found it was to their benefit for you, madam, and your husband to be gone.
その犯人が
This someone motioned to commit the first of several crimes by murdering your husband under the guise of a mere heart
とっ
attack.
さに見せかけてご主人を殺害
Okay,
した
so
こと
they
です
did murder him.
そんな
That can't be true.
Madam Janet gasped in disbelief.
自然界には限りなく発作に近い症状を引き起こせるものがあります
In the natural world and within reach of our culprit, there just so happened to be a cardiotoxin to mimic the symptoms of a heart attack.
それが
What is that substance, you ask?
沼マムシ
The venom of a swamp adder.
まさか
Then, it had
飼育
nothing
小
to
屋
do
の
with
蛇の牙
money?
が盗まれていた
Oh,
の
it has everything to do with money.
はいその毒を採取
But not in the way that you thought. Watson in the meantime. Yeah, I hope Watson didn't swallow too much. I hope he doesn't die from that.
Precisely. They were stolen for what they contain. A rare substance, which is both poisonous and venomous.
犯人はご主人
It
が
was known the master was an avid smoker, so they used this fact to lace his pipe with the
そ
toxin.
の猛毒を仕込んだんです帰宅途中
He
に
needed to only ingest the smallest amount once he put the pipe to his mouth, for the symptoms to make themselves known and cause his death.
次に
Next, we have the matter of both Madame Janet and Ash experiencing health problems within the mansion's
に
walls.
ついてですが
あれはただ
Is
の
it a
疲労で
case
は
when we were
ない
simply
んですか
exhausted?
はい
It is a case because neither of you were
一つの共
exhausted.
通点がある
That your symptoms were identical helped us discover the one thing you had in common.
二人とも
You both had gone into
亡
the
くなっ
late
たご主
master's
人の
study.
書斎に
Madame Janet goes in frequently, and you, Ash,
奥様は
once cleaned the day after it rained.
アーシャさんは雨の翌日に
雨の翌日
How is the weather relevant?
書斎の壁紙は見事な美しいエメラルドグリーンでした
As you're aware, the wallpaper in the study is emerald in color.
この屋敷はだいぶ古い作りです雨漏りして壁にシミを作っている箇所も多い
The mansion happens to be rather old, so there are a number of places where water leaks and dampens the walls.
だけどまだ壁紙を新調したばかりの書斎はシミができても他の場所ほどひどくはありません
The wallpaper of the study is a recent addition, however, and though water damage occurs in that room as much as anywhere else, it's no longer as apparent.
その分壁と壁紙の間で湿気がたまるそれによって壁紙の顔料
Oh.
アヒ酸銅にカビが反応しヒ素が発生した
In short, the moisture building up is causing the wallpaper's pigment to be metabolized by mold, giving rise to arsine gas. our sign? Is it our sign?
まさかそんなところにも毒が。
Then the room itself is dangerous.
ご主人が亡くなってか
Very
ら
much so.
ジャネット夫人の
It's why we haven't felt well since the death of your husband.
書斎の壁紙を用意したのは確かロトさんとソフィアさんでしたよね。
The ones who selected the wallpaper were Laud and Sophia, correct? Yep, it's them! It's them, officer! Poisonous of a substance or plant, causing or capable of causing death or illness if taken into the body. Venomous of an animal, especially a snake, secreting venom or capable of injecting venom by means of a bite or sting. Why were these two words used in the same sentence, describing a chemical? Because it's mixed up with the mold to create a gas?
そうです。
Yes, that's correct.
僕たちが考えた犯人候補はこの2人。執事のロトさん。
Let's narrow down our list of suspects to one of you.
最初は2人で手を組んでとも考えましたが、それは違うことに気づきました。
I first considered you were acting in cooperation, but dismissed it upon further investigation. Then it's just poisonous. But they're using the venom from the snake, though.
そう。
So wouldn't it be venomous and not poisonous? Or would it be venomous and poisonous if it becomes a gas? That left us with only one person. Poisonous is when it's deadly when consumed. Venomous is when it's deadly when it's forcefully inserted. What about, like, if you inhale it? Would that be considered poisonous? Or venomous? Oh! Oh, what is up with your hand, Bubby? That's some perspective, alright.
あなたです、ソフィアさん。
You, Sophia.
Sophia?
Toxic, I think?
私が犯人ですか？
You think I'm the culprit? Sophia's voice was strained, her skin pulled back like yarn on the verge of unraveling.
どうしてロトさんではなく私が？彼の方がずっと。
Why suspect me of a lot? He has far more.
ロトさんが蛇に襲われたことは。
You are aware of when Lot was attacked.
はい。
I am.
What is this?
If you bite it and you die, it's poisonous. If it bites you and you die, it's venomous.
What if it bites me and it dies?
That means you're poisonous. Jesus Christ, Nate. Learn to read.
What if it bites itself and I die?
It's voodoo.
What if it bites me and someone else dies?
That's correlation, not causation.
What if we bite each other and neither of us die?
That's key.
Oh my god.
Okay, but let's see. But if it's from a snake, what if you don't bite it and you just inhale it? What then? I guess it's toxic. Oh, I like this music.
ロトさんはジャ
The
ネット
only reason he was attacked at all was because he protected the madam.
Poison extracted from a snake is poison. I could be wrong. I'm not the best for that. And poison is poisonous. Yeah. And then it became air that caused issues for them.
その段階では
He did so whilst unaware that the swamp adder's fangs had been
分かって
removed.
いませんで
You
した。
see, he was prepared to die if it meant her life would be spared.
死を覚悟で飛び出したんだと思います。本当に奥さん
Now, why would he do such a thing if he meant her harm? The only answer is, he wouldn't. She's dear to him.
そしてソフィアさん。
Poison air is poisonous. There's more to it than that, of course.
あなたはジャネット夫人を突
You
き飛ば
reported
した
to
犯
us
人
that the person who pushed Madame
それが
Janet
女性
was a
だったと
slender
証言し
woman.
ました。
ですが
This cannot be further from the victim's own reports of having been pushed by a muscular man.
彼女は犯人について
Yeah, girl, you suck at lying, bitch.
証言したんです
There must be some sort of mistake.
ここで2つの可能
Mistake?
性が生ま
We
れ
aren't mistaken. A mistake would mean the madam's memory was faulty. We've concluded the event as she tells it to be accurate.
そして
You're lying to us, Sophia, in order to
あ
protect
なたが
another.
嘘をついているか
Oh.
誰
This accusation startled her greatly.
ソフィアさん
You know, as we all do,
奥
Sophia,
様は
that the madam will be going to complete the inheritance proceedings tomorrow.
だから
Was that why Ted ordered you to use the swamp adder's toxin to kill her?
指示されたんですか
どうしてそれを
Why do you...
テッドさんが家を出て行った後
He may have left the mansion, but it's reasonable to think you would continue your relationship in
そ
secret.
の可能性は十分ありますテッドさんの好物だったというミートパイそれをホームズが食べている時のあなたの顔は
Your face when Holmes ate the meat pie Ted loved so much wasn't the face of someone thinking of a former lover.
それにジャネット夫人を突き落とそうとした犯人がテッドさんだとしたら
Hmm.
あなたが嘘の証言をした理由もわかります
If we're to position him as the one who attempted murder on his own mother, then the reason you lied to us becomes clear.
少しでもテッドさんに疑いを向けさせないようにしたかったそうではありませんか
You tried to stamp out his involvement, even if it placed you in the line of suspicion. Have I got it?
ソフィアあなたまさかまだテッドと付き合っていたの半年前にしっかり別れたと思っていたのに
Sophia, please, please, tell me you aren't still intimate with Ted. Is it true? I thought you parted ways when he left.
ホワイニク様しっかり付き合っているわよ
Unfortunately for you, that didn't happen. You're still very much in love. The ease at which Sophia's tone shifted was unsettling. Her quiet despair was no more. With each new word sharp as a kitchen knife, and darkly energized by a presence which felt long restrained.
ソフィアそうよあなたたちさえ
If it weren't for you detectives. She had been boring a hole in the floor, but in another unsettling shift, she raised her head and extended her arm to me rapidly.
あなたたちさえ来なければ
If you hadn't come!
危ない
Look out, Emily! I cannot react soon enough. I saw her palm outstretched before my face, blinked, and was pulled into the wild force of Sophia's grip. Her other hand held a fruit knife acquired from the kitchen.
そうよ私がしたことよ旦那様を殺したのもあなたを殺そうとしたことも
I admit it. You're right. I killed the master, and I tried to kill you.
じわじわと死んでもらおうと思ったのに遺産の相続を早めるって言うからあの人にせかされて
I intended for you to die a gradual death, but you rushed your inheritance. Why? It'll be yours no matter the time. Why go through proceedings with such urgency?
ソフィアどうしてなの
Why, Sophia? Tell me why.
あなたたちは
Because you wouldn't accept our marriage. You rejected us, made to separate us.
愛し合ってた私たちを引き離したのよそれはあ
It
な
was
た
for
のこ
your
とを考
own
え
good. Are you sure about that?
うるさいのよ
I don't want to hear it.
あなたさえいなくなれ
Once you're dead,
ば私た
we
ち
shall
に結
marry,
婚でき
and
る
Ted will be flush with riches.
莫大な遺産だってテッドに入ってくるそれなのに
All was going well till you two arrived and ruined our
台無
plans.
しよ
Sophia screeched with a venom that plunged deeper with each syllable. The emotion at its core was all I could comprehend, for the cold touch of the knife pressed to my neck made it too difficult to concentrate on anything else.
さあ
Now, if you don't want this girl's blood on the floor, you have to get out of my way. I won't be arrested here. There's no running from this, Sophia. Scotland Yard has been alerted. They won't be long. Let her go! They cannot land a hand on me if I have a hostage. I'll be going to where Ted is waiting, and you can't stop me. I can't stay like this. I need to loosen her grip. I raced through the self-defense techniques I learned from Pendleton. Then Watson's frantic glance met mine. He's close enough. All will be well if I can escape. With all the strength I had, I dug the heel of my boot atop Sophia's. She let go. It would only be temporary, but that was all I needed. I shook free from her grasp and ran to freedom. No! Stay still! Watson twisted her arm upwards. The knife clattered upon hitting the floor. A woman of Sophia's size would never be able to break free from Watson's strength. At last, relief came to me, as it did us all. But relief was premature. Jesus. Is this why you're so late to contact me? Oh, is this the son? Uh-oh.
Sophia, お前は本当に使えない女だね。
A pitiful excuse for a woman, Sophia. Again did I become pulled backwards into a foreign grip. A knife did not meet my neck this time, however, but a gun to the temple. Ted! Why are you?
どうして？まだ分かってないのかよ、母さん。
Why? You still not caught it on, mother?
俺がソフィアにやらせたことだよ。遺産欲しさにね。
I am the one pulling the strings, and yes, all for the money. Ted's smile grew more twisted. I was close enough to catch the haze of alcohol lining his breath.
本当は俺一人でできたはずだった。
I never intended to have her help me.
だけど、父さんの蛇の牙を盗むときにちょっとしくじってよ。
Then I had to botch pulling the fangs of that damn snake. Emily, you gotta stop being in these hostage/kidnapping situations. Damsel in distress simulator. His confession did little when the proofs were apparent, and his arm wrapped in a bandage was enough to award him guilt.
それで仕方なくそこの女にやらせたんだよ。
Can't very well do my dirty work with this now, can I?
当然だわ。あなたと幸せに生きるためですもの。
Sophia, you are Menhera as hell. And I would do it all again with pride. Anything to reach our happily ever after. He literally just called you like a dumbass woman, Sophia. Get better taste in men. Get taste in me. Get a taste for me. I'm better men. Hello. Hi. You can make me worse, Sophia. You made a plot to kill your parents, manipulate your lover into becoming a murderer for money? You're twisted. You're completely insane. Thank you for the hydrate. Why, Elio, what? Listen, if she has bad taste in men, I can provide. Did you really go from you need better taste in men to you can make me worse? Maybe I'm up to her standards if she has bad taste in men.
ごたくはいいんだよ、名探偵。さっさとその女を話せ。
Don't care much of what you think, detective. Just get on with it. Give me the woman. You know what? Solid plan. Carry on. Ted pressed the gun's trigger, a hair to heighten his threat.
さもないと、お前の助手を今ここで撃ち殺すぞ。いいのか?
If you don't, Mrs. Sistinaire won't see you tomorrow. No one wishes for that now. I'd gone from imprisonment to freedom to imprisonment in short order, bound against my will by weapons both sharp and explosive in nature. My stomach could not take more of this. I was plummeting and rising to my throat at once. You barf on him, then he'll lose his grip on you.
My circumstances were now Sophia's in that I could not wrestle free from a man's grip, and yet our captors made all the difference in our fear.
I'm sorry for being your top competition. Oi!
うかつには動けないわ。
I mustn't do anything reckless. But then, what is mindful against a gun? Watson could not have appeared more pained. With reluctance, he let Sophia go free.
I'm not insulting you. It's free self-deprecation. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, oi, don't talk shit about my friend Twy.
テッド、早く逃げましょう。
Oh, Ted, you don't know how I missed you. Come, we must be quick with our escape.
Sophia rushed to her lover's side. There was purity in her then, with eyes made moist as she waited to receive a reward for her complete devotion. An embrace, a kiss, to flee into the night, to where they could love one another openly, and to where their titles were husband and wife. Of course, I'll be getting out of here. But not you. You'll only leave once the yard has you in handcuffs. A kick, then a fall. She dropped to her knees and curled her arms around her stomach in pain. Sophia, you really need better taste in men. Yeah, go for me, Sophia, go for me. I'm slightly better. I would not abandon you.
You're joking. This is a lie. After all I've done. After all I've done for you.
After all you've done, yes. I have more work for you. Spend your days in a cell for your man. The world will know you as a serial murderer after I put a bullet in every soul here. You truly are the worst excuse of a man. Say whatever you like. I know what I want, and I want booze. I want to gamble. I want whores. Damn.
You can't. Ted, why?
Honestly, I was expecting there to be a hole between her eyes. Yeah, I was kind of expecting him to shoot her too.
テッド、あなたという人は何ということを。
Ted, how could you do this?
Might try to keep that mouth of yours shut, Mother. I'm not above killing family first.
The gun was now pointed directly at the madam.
For God's sake, just stop! It goes for you too. Don't you value your assistant's life? Damn it!
Watson's face contorted. He was lost. We could do what our captor wanted. Take his kicks, hear his abuse, and shut our mouths as he waved his weapon around like a child's toy. We could obey and still end up dead. Reason was giving way to panic. My heart thudded at a rate that cut my breath short. All for this moment when, at last, my sense of relief was true.
全く怪しげな連絡が入ったかと思えば。
Oh, it was Pendleton! I knew something was amiss upon that telephone call.
お嬢様、あなたは本当に仕方のないレディーですね。
You're ever the master at stirring up mischief, my lady. Madam Janet at Sophia, it was for your own good. I wasn't protecting him from you. I was protecting you from him. She's so right for that. Go, Pendleton, go!
A welcoming and familiar voice, though not even raised, had overtaken the room.
You.
I blinked. A bullet darted across the room, and Ted's gun fell to the floor. The clattering sound was drowned out by a string of obscene oaths from the man.
Who in God's name are you?
申し訳ありませんが。
Go.
あなたにはそれ以上お答えしたくありません。
Dang, he even got a sprite for it. Do pardon me if I sound curt, but I've no interest in humoring your questions presently.
お嬢様、お怪我はありませんか？
Are you hurt, my lady?
Pendleton had no interest in letting the man sit comfortably either. He had little patience for anyone who thought to place me in harm's way. The butler swiftly approached. He presented a fist to the gut, then another, and another, until the gut was weakened with pain, and the burly hand that held me loosened.
ペンデルトン？
さあ、もう大丈夫ですよ。早く私の背中に隠れて。
All is well. Please, step behind me where it is safe. Quickly now.
I'd been freed. He guided me behind him, and I was all too happy to listen.
Ugh, you damn! Don't move!
Ted attempted to climb to his feet, but was stopped by Watson slamming him back down.
ですがお嬢様、これは一体どういうことです？ベーカー街の事務所へ行っても誰もいない。
I believe I am owed an explanation, my lady. I traveled to the Baker Street office where you claim to be working, but to my shock there was no one inside.
管理人さんに聞けば。
It was the landlady who informed me of a client's arrival earlier in the day.
そして極めつけは、お嬢様が拳銃を持った男に取り押さえられている。
I come to this client's home to fetch you, and what should I find but you held at gunpoint? I was certainly not prepared for this. But you still had a gun. Okay, Pendleton.
Pendleton had such an aura of intimidation that I could not respond.
危うく撃ち殺されるところだったんですよ。それに、この私に嘘をついたことも。
You might have been dead had I arrived minutes later. I hope you're prepared for a lengthy lecture for lying to me.
ごめんなさい。
I didn't mean for all this.
Emily, did he hurt you?
Watson left restraining Ted to Lot and hurried to care for me. Pendleton was no less livid with him than he was with me.
ワトソン君、
Watson,
あなたがついていた。
just how did you permit this to happen when you were right here with her?
お嬢様の命
What made you think to put her in
あな
harm's
たは
way?
一体何をしていたんですか？
There was a raging tremor, however small, to the butler's voice that was similar to a pot close to boiling over.
Sir, I'm... God, he's such a mom.
He could not come up with a proper response before Scotland Yard barreled down the entrance.
そこまでだ。無駄な抵抗はやめろ。
You're under arrest. Don't try to resist. Let me go. I'm not being thrown into a... What is that word? Goal cell? What's a goal cell?
暴れるな。さあ、来るんだ。
Save your energy. You're coming with us.
And then the menace was gone.
そんな。
This can't be. No, no, no! That's all I've done. And for what?
ソフィア。
もうたくさん。
I've had enough! Clutched within the woman's white-knuckled fingers was the very knife she had previously held to my neck.
ソフィアさん。
Oh, is she gonna...
Kill herself? She now held it against her own.
そんな。
No, don't do that, girl! Why would you, like, kill yourself over that dude? Go find a better man. Go find me. I'm waiting for you, honey.
I can't blame him, though. Emily got into a hostage situation, double whammy, back-to-back today. For real. What kind of shit-ass maid makes a mess like this?
お嬢様。
Stay away, my lady. Gotta clear all Cassie.
I took the first step towards her before Pendleton forced me to stay behind him.
死んでやる。
I wish to die.
もう生きてたんで
There's
仕
no
方ない
point
じ
in
ゃ
my
ん。
going on.
Don't be a fool.
Knife's point drew closer to her throat. Closer. Stop! Again, the knife was dropped. Before she could harm herself, Watson seized her arm and effortlessly kept all resistance from her at bay.
あなた。
How dare you!
一体何
Let
の
me have it! Let me die!
それを返して。私を死なせてちょうだい。
It's not going to happen.
そんなことを。
This truly was the Wuthering Heights.
俺はあなたを許す気なんてない。
I won't forgive you for what you've done. Ever.
だけど、それ以上に目の前で人が死ぬのを黙って見ているなんて嫌だ。
But I can't sit and watch a person die if I can stop it. I don't have the stomach to see that happen.
何よそれ。
This is to help you sleep at night?
それにあなたは本当はすごく心の優しい人のはずだ。
Don't twist my words. Whether you want to believe it, you're a good person. Are you sure, Watson? I don't know.
そうでなきゃ俺が毒入りのスープを飲むのを止
I
める
guess
はず
that's
ない。
true.
他人のためにそこまでできるわけない。
A bad one would have let me drink that poison soup with a smile, but you stopped me. You feared for a complete stranger.
あなた、
How can you?
どうしてそんな
How
こと
can you? His appeal left her without strength in her legs. She was, at last, tired.
だからどうか簡単な道を選ばないでください。
Please,
お願いです。
don't take the easy way out of this. You can change. As Scotland Yard went to escort Sophia out of the mansion, Madame Janet approached.
ソフィア、ごめんなさい。
Sophia, let me tell you how very sorry I am.
どうして謝ったりなんか。
For what? Why?
あなたをそこまで追い詰めたことには、私や主人にも原因があるわ。
My husband and I are the driving force behind your actions.
You can change in jail. For a few weeks, you will be alive before you are executed for your crimes.
テッドが更生してくれることを期待していたのだけど。
So that is what she meant by she was keeping her safe from him, not him from her.
We had every hope our son would mend his ways, but it wasn't meant to be.
結果、あなたにも辛い思いをさせてしまった。
All we did was brought you
本当
suffering.
にごめんなさい。
Holy shit, guys. SAO just ended. They were trapped in a video game, and people were in a coma. Shit was insane.
Really?
Like, the whole series is over? Servers just closed. Oh! Oh, right! The timeline! That's right! That's right! Sword Art Online was in 2024, wasn't it? It's in 2024? I'm pretty sure it was. Was this the actual day Sword Art Online ended? Should have just given their son a violin.
だけどね、
Sorry, and thank you. Madame Janet gently placed a hand on Sophia's shoulder.
あんなどうしようもない子だけど、それでも私たちの息子なの。
For all his flaws, he is still our son.
あの子を、テッドを愛してくれて。
Thank you for loving him.
奥様。
Madam,
Thank God they got out of that game. I'm so glad no fucking weirdo will call their nerve gear their partner when it was literally the thing holding them hostage.
今度は自分の大切な人を選び間違ってはダメよ。
I hope you choose someone worthy of your love next time. Hello, Sophia. Hi, I'm available.
So, can I be the—
She did not say goodbye. The madam followed Sophia's last steps, observed her whimpering and sobbing until she was no longer to be seen.
I always hated that line. Yet it's far from the worst part of that arc.
ホームズさん、ワトソンさん、どうもありがとうございました。
I must thank you both.
あなたたちは
You
私
solved the
に真
mystery
実
that
を教え
plagued
てく
our
れまし
household
た。
and more. I cannot be more grateful for the work you've put in this
Arigato.
case.
The madam was sincere, which I don't know why. It provided me no comfort. How could I, when this woman suffered all this loss, all this heartbreak? Within a month's time, this truly was the heartbreaking.
あと、これはお願いなのですが、 そろ
I
そ
have
ろ
a
あなた
final
たちの本
request.
当のお名
You're
前を
welcome to decline, of
教えてい
course,
ただ
but
けないかしら
might it be possible to learn your true names?
え
You knew?
Why?
奥
When
様
did you notice?
いつから気
Probably
づいて
all the times that you accidentally said each other's names accidentally.
なんとなくです
I
が
had a feeling something wasn't quite right from the start.
お互いを呼び合
You
う
always had a
時だけ
stiffness about you
ぎ
when
こちなく
addressing
なっ
one
ていました
another.
から
I hope we caused you no distress. Our intention was never to deceive you, except it kinda was.
The two of us went straight into a string of apologies, turning them out one after another as though we couldn't get them out fast enough.
頭を上げてくだ
Oh,
さい
you needn't prepare all this
私はあなた
fuss.
たちに
I simply would like to know the
ちゃんとお礼が言いたいだ
names,
け
your
なんで
names
すから。
after all you've done.
Watson, apologies. My real name is Balls Deep 69.
あなたたちの誠意ある姿勢
I will
を
never forget the
私は
heart
決
with which
し
you
て
approached this
忘れませ
case.
んわ
俺の名前は
My name is
ウィリア
William
ム
H.
ヘイリス・ワト
Watson.
ソンです
In truth, I'm Holmes's assistant.
お噂通り
Well, you
体
do
格の
fit
良
all
い
I've
たく
heard
ま
about
しい方
you.
ですね
As strong as in body as you are in
と
heart.
っても優しい方だわちなみに
And you,
Miss
Miss
Watson?
Watson? If this
こ
young
ちら
man
の
is
方が
he,
ワトソンさん
then
だという
who
な
are
ら
you?
Well, I will
Another
become
name,
Mrs.
Kitty
Watson
Mouse.
eventually, but
奥様
right now I'm Whiteley.
私の名前は
I am Emily Whiteley, Madam Janet.
そう
Miss Whiteley,
ホワイ
is
トリ
it?
ーさんね
Thank you ever so
ワト
much.
ソンさんは
Mr. Watson has been
素敵な
very
助手
blessed
を
to
お
have
持ち
you
だ
as an
わ
assistant.
はい
I
今
have.
はもったいないくらいで
She's
す
done more than I deserve, really.
ワトソン
Watson? He laughed in a weak, sheepish manner. And it spread to me. A small chuckle turned to a series of chuckles between us. Our work was done. The culprit had been caught. We could finally laugh at our poor performances as Mr. Holmes and Mrs. Watson. I saw Watson back to his flat before returning to the mansion with Pendleton.
お嬢様
My lady,
今
I
回の件
dearly
に
hope
つき
you
ま
will
して
pardon the many things I wish to
たくさんお
ask
聞きしたいことが
regarding
ご
today's
ざいます。
events.
I consider them pardoned.
まずはと言いたいところですが
First, no, I've changed my mind.
お怪我がなかったこと馬車の中でのワトソン君の必死すぎる弁解に免じて
And that you weren't injured in Watson's desperate apologies in the carriage. I'd have to spare you a lecture this evening. Are you sure?
今回は1週間の謹慎と特別課題でよしとしましょう
I will let you off easy. You're not to step outside this mansion for anything other than lessons for 1 week, during which you will be occupied with a series of special tasks provided by me. Onyo.
What?
Pendleton poured me a cup of tea.
As always, both man and drink were perfection. I accepted my tea with grace as I waited for him to elaborate.
ちなみに特別課題とは今後お嬢様が立派な淑女になるために必要なことをみっちり
If you're curious, the special task to which I refer will involve everything you need to learn on behavior befitting that of an upper-class woman.
手取り足取りお教えいたしますよろしいですね
No effort will be spared to that end. Are you prepared?
As much I shall ever be. I knew that delight in his voice so well, that my mind wandered back to my actions. Through my fun, my lies, through the best and worst of the day, I had been a child.
ごめんなさいペンデルトン
I'm so sorry, Pendleton.
分かっていただければそれで構いません
You understand your actions. That is enough for me. Here.
Are you sure? I took a sip from a newly poured cup of tea.
人の恋愛感情ってあんなに黒いものになってしまうのね
It's unimaginable to me how love can become so destructive.
Emily, I want you to remember that when we play Jack the Ripper's route, girl.
That love could be so dark brought to mind the case with Eliza.
だって最初に付き合っていたのは私だったのに まさか友達に取られるなんて
Because
思ってなかった
I was the one who was seeing him first. I never thought a friend of mine would take him away from me.
大好きだったのにどうして私じゃなくてアンジャを選んだのかってアンジャに紹介しなきゃよかったってずっと後悔してた
I loved him. I couldn't understand why he chose Angie over me. I can't stand how much regret I feel for introducing him to her.
まっすぐな思いというのは一歩踏み間違えてしまうといけないと分かっていても止まれないものです。
Love is a pure, well-meant emotion, but such purity can topple with a single misstep. Once you've fallen, it becomes difficult to stand up again. Unless you have life alert, that
強
is.
ければ強いほどに
The stronger you love, the harder the fall.
悲しいわ人を思いやる気持ちが思う気持ちがそのまま動機になってしまうなんて
It breaks my heart to know this. That love and compassion, such wonderful things, can transform into evil.
私は絶対に気持ちを理由に道を踏み外したりなんかしないわ
I will never let my feelings stray from the right path. I swear it.
I hope you remember that when we play Jack the Ripper's route, Emily!
ええきっとお嬢様なら大丈夫ですよ。
I believe you. Through whatever challenges you face, you will persevere.
さて本日は紅茶をお召し上がりになりゆっくりとお休みください。
And that's for now. You need only to enjoy your tea and indulge in a good night's sleep.
ありがとう
Thank you. I will.
Alright. Is the next episode gonna be Akechi? We need to meet Akechi. We've been going on for how long now? When east comes west. Okay, this gotta be Akechi, right?
There was a distinct chill in the air this morning, and the clouds, rather than lazily float about, were darting across the sky at a rapturous pace.
For real, I keep forgetting he's in the game.
The cold wind served as a sign that we were delving further into autumn.
お嬢様指輪はお持ちに
Do you have your ring with you, my lady?
もちろんよペンデルトン
Of course I do, Pendleton.
ハンカチはお忘れではないですか
You have your handkerchief as well, I assume?
心配しなくてもちゃんと持っているわ
Not to worry, it's right here.
こちらの水筒をお持ちください。新鮮な水が入っております。
I'd also ask that you take this water with you. I pray this is enough to last you the day.
ありがとう
Thank you.
いいですかお嬢様。今回カバンにお詰めしたおやつは特別ですからね。
And do not expect the treats I'm sending with you this time to become routine.
本日校外学習で向かうドッグランズは現在国内でも活気がある地帯の一つです。
The port of London is one of the most lively, prosperous regions of the country.
お嬢様の良い社会見学になることでしょう。ただし
I'm certain it will be a most educational and rewarding experience for your school trip. However, Pendleton shot a warning glare in my direction.
そんな場所
For
だからこ
exactly the
そ
same reasons, you must be exceptionally careful at all times.
お嬢様がうっ
Just
か
the
り
thought that you might end up whisked away by high waves or find yourself on a suspicious ship destined for heaven knows where is enough to.
大変よペンデルトン
Oh no, just look at the time. I really must be going right away.
He's such a mom.
急いで参りましょ
Then let us be off at once.
After escaping Pendleton's lecture, I climbed into the carriage and we set off for the port. The area where we were headed, the Port of London, as Pendleton mentioned, was an area slightly east of the city, facing onto the sea. Despite the name, it isn't simply a place that ships go in and out of. Large ships are also built there, and it's filled with rows upon rows of red brick warehouses.
眩しく光る白い砂浜に心を落ち着かせる穏やかなさざ波
Beautiful white beaches that glisten in the sunlight, and peaceful waves that calm your heart. I rarely had the chance to visit the sea. I'd been looking forward to this day for some time, building up a pristine image of what this particular one might be like, based on the books I had read. To my woes, reality desired to not be quite so pristine.
Are you sure you're alright, Emily? Oh, is she seasick?
I can handle myself, Watson. Promise. You needn't keep asking.
If you insist.
You weren't the only one who fell, if it helps. Lupin had a spectacular fall earlier.
Oh wait, did we fall into the water?
It would help more if we moved on from what had happened.
If you feel as though you're gonna fall again because of the wind, grab hold of me or someone else, alright?
I will.
Thank you. Oh, I guess you just fell on the deck.
I wasn't expecting the wind here to be so strong. Goodness.
Listen in, class. As I'm sure you've noticed, the sea is so terribly unsettled today that not even sailors can bring themselves to sing their merry songs.
Mr. Mackenzie howled over the wind as best he could, seemingly in a state where he could be easily carried off by the weather at any moment.
I want you to take great care not to be dragged into the sea. Surprise field trip to Japan? Or maybe... Music has the vibes of Oh Crab, So Crab. Just as well, I prefer if you not fall into this here gutter, a sewage flowing through it, so it would not end well. Mr. Mackenzie, Lupin has gone crashing to the ground in a poor effort to avoid his spectacles being blown off. It'd be alright if I were to lend him a hand. Of course, please do, Holmes.
As Holmes helped Lupin back to his feet, another strong gust threatened the class. Shan't let the wind take me. Not a second time. So I declared heartily within, but to see how even large objects cave to the wind frightened me. And what if that awful gutter? I could fall in and never be heard from again. I'd lost my balance, but with Watson supporting me, I was able to at least avoid falling to the ground. Thank you, Watson.
It's no trouble. Keep a tight hold of me, alright?
I will. I still feel a bit unsteady on my feet, and before I knew it, I was clinging to Watson's arm with a strength I never knew I had. I wonder if we're getting these because we have a lot of Watson points? Or if Watson just tends to be this supportive no matter what route you're on.
What are you lending a hand to another man for, Holmes? To tenderly grasp his hand in your hand? Horde? Hold on, where's my image? Perfect weather for paragliding. Yeah, and it's specifically Lupin that he's holding too. The Lupin Holmes ship is sailing.
I do apologize for this, Watson. I declared I could handle myself, but here I am.
No, nonsense, Emily. You're smaller and lighter than me, I should say. It's smart for you to be anxious.
Oh, thank you for the hydrate toy.
Oh, look at that smile. You haven't a thing to fear so long as you're with me. I'll support you. See, this is why I'm gonna become Miss Watson someday.
It's very sweet of you, Watson. The wind was continuing to wrap upon us with all the ferocity of a hurricane.
Imagine if that's the case, and if you were on the Lupin route, but you're both shambling messes and fall off the boat. That would be so funny. I hope that happens.
Yet, to see the assistant smile brought me to a second wind of relaxation. A moment, Holmes.
Yes, Miss Marple. You look less than pleased.
あなた自分の助手に首輪でもしてたら
I might suggest that you put your man on a lead.
Your man? Lupin or Watson?
言葉の意味がわからないな。ワトソン君がどうかしたのか。
I don't understand. Has Watson done something untoward?
あ、しらじらしい。ワトソン、あんなことを言って彼女を安心させてるけど。
Indeed, he has. Do you see the way he behaves, like his actions are for Emily's benefit? He's being too bold.
Are you jealous, Marple?
実際はあの子に抱きつかれて。
Oh, what
嬉
is
しいだけ
this?
じゃない。彼の後ろ髪が。
How migraines in the morning feel like? God. Two-timing Watson for Lupin. The hussy.
His back brings to mind watching a big, excitable dog wagging its tail. She clings to him. He makes no effort to hide being charmed. It's an utter lack of discipline on your part.
Okay, Marple, stop being so jelly.
なんだ君は
I'll do your route eventually, girly. I take it you're bringing this up means you're envious? Gay!
さ、どうでしょうね。
Who knows? I'm certainly not happy about it. In due time, the weather made to ease itself, and I was finally able to stand without assistance.
Yeah, that's gay, Marple. She literally just went up and she's like, you fucking restrain your man. Your man is hitting on my girl. You better stop. Put a stop to this right now.
ありがとう、ワトソン。
Thank you again, Watson.
おかげで助かった
I'm so
わ。
glad you were there for me.
You don't need to thank me. I was just, I was happy to have you rely on me.
Pardon?
Never mind.
All the students having calmed down, Mr. Mackenzie once more opened his mouth to speak.
いいですか。このドッグランズには海外からの貿易船も数多く入港しています。
Now, the Port of London has a large number of ships from abroad docked in it.
しかし、
Most ships come here legally, but there are some that come here smuggling such goods as illegal drugs and expensive tea. Oh, let's go have the Boston Tea Party! Let's go dump all the tea!
密輸入だけではなく、積み荷に
In
紛れ
recent
て
years, there have been cases of not only illegal substances being smuggled into the country, but people as well. It's become quite the conundrum.
マッケンジー先生。
Jack appears to have wandered off in the direction of that
大
steamship.
型の蒸気船を見つめて、あのまま行かせても
Does he have
いいのでしょうか。
permission to do that?
Lupin was right. Jack's eyes were fascinatedly fixed on a ship rocking in the waters, and somewhat stealthily had slowly edged himself closer to it. Does he like boats? Is he a boat boy? It's massive. Oh wait, what was his voice? He's like very thick Englishman, right? It's massive.
お待ちなさい、ミラーズ
Oh,
君。
right where you are, Mr. Millers.
校外学習は団
Everyone
体
needs
行
to
動
stay
が基本
together
で
on
す
class
よ。
trips. You mustn't go wandering off on your own,
頼みま
please.
すから。
As we walked from the harbor towards the warehouses, a certain ship had caught my eye also.
あら
Hmm?
あの
I wonder what kind that one is.
It's from Japan.
In amongst all the other ships docked on the bay was one that appeared unusually worn.
ミス・ホワイトリー。
Is something the matter, Miss Whiteley? Why have you stopped walking?
怪しいわ
It strikes me as suspicious. That couldn't be one of the smuggling ships Mr. Mackenzie mentioned, could it?
密入国船
Wait, Emily, where are you going?
全く仕方な
God
い。
help me. She's
Watson,
hopeless.
あとを追うぞ。
Come,
つい
Watson.
てきたまえ
I'm。going after her. Right.
10分経っても
If you're not back within 10 minutes,
先生に
I'll let
報告す
Mr.
るわ
Mackenzie know the situation.
Not to worry. We'll be back well before then.
それはどうかしらね
I'll believe that when I see it.
時間までにあの子と戻ってきたら褒めてあげるわ
I would be quite astonished if you returned with her before those 10 minutes are up. Having approached the suspicious ship as close as I felt comfortable, I then hid out of the way and surveyed it from afar. People were disembarking in large numbers before my eyes, carrying goods off the ship with them. What worried me was that a number of them didn't seem to be in very good health, as if they barely had the energy to spare. They were collapsing or sitting on the ground as soon as they reached dry land. Oh shoot. They got scurvy? I feel like I should be calling a doctor more than Scotland Yard. Where on earth could this ship be from? So many of them have black hair. Oh, they're from Japan! My mind was churning as I observed. I was startled by two faces popping before me. Their appearance was so unexpected that I hadn't much time to react with anything more than a pitiful cry. There they are! There's Akechi! Finally! Took you damn time.
一体何者でしょうか。僕たちのことを監視しているなんて。
Who is she? She seems to have been watching us.
でも見たところ女の子だよな。俺
Oh, are they in brackets because they're speaking in Japanese?
初めて見たよ。
Looks like an ordinary girl to me. Well, ordinary as far as here, I'm sure. Never seen a real blonde-haired, blue-eyed beauty in my life. I have no idea what they're saying. What language is that? Before me was a petite boy with chestnut hair, staring at me with eyes as generously large as his grin. Next to him stood a slender, silver-haired boy wearing spectacles. Far from the gaiety of his partner, he gave me the immediate impression of being a cautious sort.
Oh, he's got a sword.
And whatever language they were speaking, I wasn't familiar with a single word of it.
金髪の壁眼であることは僕も認めます。
She has blonde hair and blue eyes, yes. I
美女と決めつけるのは
think it's premature to be declaring her beauty. Oh, hey! Oh, he's just like Holmes. Oh, fuck you, Akechi.
So you say, but I'd wager you thought she's a fine sight for sore eyes the second you spotted her.
そんな
If you think such a mundane idea would even cross my mind with circumstances as they are, then you don't know me very well.
What could they be talking about? They couldn't be talking about how to get rid of me now that I've witnessed them sneaking into the country, could they? To add fuel to the fire of my worries, the silver-haired one had a foreign weapon at his waist. Was I to be on the receiving end of that? To suspect this alone made me gulp. Hi there. Are you alright? You look as white as a sheet. Oh? Well, that I understood well enough. What a shock. You know English? Sure do. I can hold a conversation as well as the next.
Did you see that?
She understood me. She understood me, Ken-chan.
ええ、ちゃんと見ていました。
I did, yes. More importantly,
小林。
Kobayashi.
お前はいい加減
How
に
many more times must I tell you to
そ
stop
の
calling me Ken-chan before you understand that?
そんな呼ばれ方で周囲に舐められては困ります。明智と呼びなさい。直しなさい。
There isn't a soul alive who would treat me with the proper respect upon hearing that juvenile nickname, and that will not do. Start calling me Akechi immediately.
ああ、ごめんケンちゃん。ああ、明智。小さい頃からの癖ってなかなか抜けなくて。
Oops, sorry, Kechi. Old habits die hard.
ちゃんと気をつけて
I
ください。
expect you to rein in those habits with more care in the future. So,
あなたは何
who
者
might you be?
Oh. The silver-haired boy began speaking in equally fluent English, surprising me yet again.
僕たちの船に何か用でも影からずっと僕たちの様子を伺っているようでした。
Have you some business with our ship or someone on it? We could hardly help but notice you've been watching it for some time now.
それは
Well,
ここで下手に嘘なんてついたら刀で切り殺されるかもしれないわ。
if I lie here and they notice, they'll surely waste no time tossing me into the sea. No, anything but the sea. All those fish could eat me, and the sewage. I can't bear to think of the gutter at a time like this.
一つ言っておきますが、僕たちは正式な入国の手続きを経てこのエゲレスに来ました。
Unless there be any misunderstanding, I would note we arrived here legally after fulfilling all conditions required under the law.
なので、そんな風に無法者を見るような目を向けるのは控えてくれませんか？
Will you stop staring at us as though we were criminals?
密入国者ではないの？
So you are, allowed to be here? This I came to realize immediately was an incorrect way to word my concern.
違うよ。俺たちはちゃんと国の許可を得てここまで来たんだ。
Of course! Your country opened its doors to us! Well, he's so cute. Kobayashi, more like cutie Yashi. It's about time she learns what the phrase, there's plenty of fishes in the sea, is literally.
日本人の俺たちを不法入国者扱いだなんて。
Go gather some fish for dinner, Miss Whiteley. What a lousy thing to say to someone you've just met. I hope all Engelsh people aren't as rude as you.
落ち着きなさい、小林。
Be calm, Kobayashi.
でもケンちゃん。
But it's rude, Ken-chan!
でもじゃありません。それとケンちゃんはやめなさい。
No buts. And need I remind you that I told you to call me by my proper name?
これが日本を取り巻く現実なのです。僕たちはこの国では強く物申せる立場ではありません。
And this is the reality of being Japanese in the modern world. As long as we're in this country, we must know our place.
あなたたちは日本から来たのね。
Japanese must mean you're from Japan, I think.
No, we're from China.
Now that I was able to calm down and think properly, I recalled there being a country in the Far East that commonly referred to England as Engelsh.
日本といえば遥か極東の島国だわ。
Isn't Japan a faraway island? And they came all the way on a boat?
How long have you been streaming, Elio? Like today? Or like in general, Natya? Hello! I've been streaming for 3 hours today, I think, if that was the question. In general? Oh, I think I started in 2019, I think that was when I started.
One more quick glance at their faces, and the idea was plausible enough. Their every feature was racked with exhaustion.
No, Emily, we're bird people. What do you think? Or maybe it was 2018. I know it was when I was in college. Cause I remember taking a break for like 6 months in either 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2019 because that was when my cat passed away. I think I started like the very end of 2018, like November of 2018.
One more quick glance at their faces, and the idea was plausible enough. Their every feature was racked with exhaustion. I could only imagine the hardships they must have endured to make it here. And to think I asked them if they were allowed. Allowed? I assumed them to be criminals as soon as they hit dry land. The guilt was budding the further my thoughts went.
ごめんなさい。
I'm terribly sorry. You've been doing this for a while then. Nice, you have a knack for VN voiceovers. Oh, thank you, Natya.
Oh my, what? It was 2017? Jeez. Apparently your first DDLC stream was in 2017. Jeez. Oh no. That's too long. That's too long. I think I should quit.
I should never have said it. Oh, it was awful of me.
この地域は密輸や密入国者が急増していると教わって、それで勝手に勘違いしてしまって。
I had just received a lesson on smugglers and those entering the country illegally. I let my imagination run wild, I suppose.
教わるってことは学生なのか？
A lesson? Are you a student?
Yes, I am.
女性なのに学問ということは
No!
あなたは身分の高い方なのですか？
Hey guys, I'm graduating. I've been streaming for too long. I've been streaming since 2017. I'm too old. I gotta pack it up. I gotta retire. Gotta go to my retirement home. A woman and a student. Then you must be of noble birth, if I'm not mistaken. God, when was the deal? Is it my anniversary? Oh no. Hold on. If DDLC, I assume DDLC was like November. Let me see. 7 years ago. November. Holy shit, that was yesterday? My anniversary was yesterday. I'm sorry, I can't resist. No. Old. My 7-year streamer anniversary was yesterday. Holy shit. Happy birthday. It's been 7 years. No. A woman and a student. Then you must be of noble birth, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, happy anniversary. Thank you.
そうです。
Yes, that's right.
It kind of sucks though. I've been doing this for 7 years and I kind of feel like... Well, no, I've grown a lot. I've grown a lot since 7 years ago, but I'm not quite where I want to be. So... Why are you doing that to me, Scorpion?
Yes, that's right.
私の名前は
My name is Emily Whiteley. It is a pleasure to meet you.
My first anniversary is nice and easy to remember. January 1st. Oh, nice. 7 years ago, you used Nanashi's sprite. Didn't even use your own design yet. Well, yeah, I think it took a while before I stopped using Nanashi sprites. Because I just went by Nanashi for like a while. When did I start using actual sprites? Let me see. That'll be my actual anniversary. Okay, that's still Nanashi. That's 5 years ago. Jeez, I streamed as Nanashi for 2 years? Holy crap. That virtual YouTuber Nanashi. Okay, so I started being a VTuber 5 years ago, April 20th. But I don't count that my debut date. My actual debut date for a streamer, I guess you could consider it 4 years ago. November 1st, 2020. What's with everything being in November? What? So my very first VTuber stream was November 1st with my shitty ass model. But we don't pay attention to that era. We don't pay attention to the 3D model era that I made in like 10 minutes. We count 2021 as our start, okay? I've not been streaming for 7 years. I'm a fresh 3-year-old streamer. Hi, that's my birthday? Oh! Nanashi Kinney. I'm somewhat sorry, Bun. Of course, Elio would be old to normal humans. He's 200 plus years old. True!
My name is Emily Whiteley. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Listen, I have not been streaming for 7 years. I've only been streaming for 3 years. It makes me feel less bad that I've been streaming for so long. Hey, nothing wrong with PNGs in 3D. That is true. But I don't wanna say I've been streaming 7 years. That sounds so long. That sounds so old. Let me say I've only been streaming for 3 years, please. I probably would have started sooner if I had considered that.
I raised the edges of my skirt slightly and presented my most refined curtsy.
これが西洋の挨拶か。初めて見るけど綺麗だな。
Wow, so this is how they greet each other in the West. It's so elegant. Yeah, you streamed way less consistently the first few years, so I personally wouldn't count it either, yeah. Yeah, we don't count the first 4 years. We only count the last 3 years. How to get yourself a senior discount bun? No!
Why, thank you. Unlike his smaller companion, the bespectacled boy continued staring in silence.
私、また何か失礼なことを？
I've perhaps not done something more to insult you, have I?
They were your test runs, for real. For real, for real. They were just test runs. They don't count. No, not at all.
見とれてたんだろ。可愛くて。
Oh, that's a good expression. I like Kobayashi. Kobayashi cute. Don't mind him. He's struck dumb by how pretty you are.
小林、お前は黙ってください。
That's enough from you.
名前を聞いておいて、こちらが名乗らないのは無礼に当たりますね。
Still, you've given your name. It's only proper we give ours.
僕の名は明智健一郎と言います。そして、こちらの騒がしいのが小林誠司です。
I am Kenichiro Akechi. The noisy one with me is Seiji Kobayashi. It'll be a huge culture shock getting into Witch's Heart to catch up in preparation for Relardo conclusion, though. Yeah! Oh god. Anyone that watches through the playlist now, like, when I do Relardo's conclusion, they're gonna be like, wait, he just, like, stopped calling himself Nanashi, and now he has, like, a VTuber model. What? Because I think it was only halfway through Your Turn to Die that I started using a VTuber model. Because yeah, Your Turn to Die was sprite PNGs at first.
Well then, Kobayashi and Ken-chan, it's lovely to meet you.
ああ、そうだよ。よろしくな。
That's us. Good to meet you.
いや、それは僕がよろしくありませんよ。
I believe I introduced myself with my full name.
あなた。
How did you pick that up? I don't recall using it.
Was that not it? I thought I heard the word being repeated towards you earlier.
Be that as it may, I'd rather you called me by my surname, Akechi.
Oh? Is there a special reason, perhaps?
どうしてって。
Well, that's because...
Oh, do you have a YouTube VOD channel or something for your old work? Yes, I do! I upload all my VODs onto YouTube.
Here is... I think this is my... Yeah, there you go. It's got all my videos. Even 7 years ago.
女の子に名前で呼ばれるの。
Because over in Japan, using someone's first name means you're very close with one another. He'll go beat red in the face if he hears his name coming from a girl. Stop making up falsehoods. I simply want to be treated with respect by those around me.
Kenta... Akechi wasted no time in rejecting Kobayashi's theory.
I've gotta say, English is so progressive. It never occurred to me that women would be studying alongside men here. Does everyone study together?
Yes, I suppose we do. I'm a student in the detectives course at Harrington Academy. There are both boys and girls.
You lot! Out of our way! What do you mean falsehoods? Kobayashi wasn't lying. My guy Kobayashi is being framed.
What's happened?
Yeah, I like Kobayashi. Kobayashi cute. Run! Scotland Yard will be here any minute. Leave the goods. We need to save our own asses. I always liked the peppy little guys. They're so cute. A large group of men began piling off the ship next to Akechi and Kobayashi's, each of their faces filled with desperation.
やはりそうでしたか。しかし、警察の意向が行き届いているとは、さすがはエゲレスですね。
I thought as much. There's something to be said for Ingelsh's police force to be this widely feared. Widely blah.
I jumped up in surprise at the yelp from behind me.
Damn it! Out of our way! Now! Cuteness blessing inbound. Oh, hi there, Wyvern! Welcome. The men continued scrambling away from their ship, kicking cargo haphazardly out of their way as they did. Hey, hello, we just met Akechi and his assistant Kobayashi that just came over to Britain from Japan.
That wasn't the only thing they were kicking away to and fro. The foreigners from the other ship were given the same exact treatment if they happened to be in their path.
What do you think you're doing? What sort of men attack people who don't have the strength to fight back? You cowards! Kobayashi, think before you act. Seeing as he clearly wasn't the type to do just that, he also didn't seem the type to listen. And I was right. I wonder if there's like a sprite dump of the characters from this game. Cause I wanna edit I wanna edit Lupin's hair to be black to make him look like Joker. And I wanna edit Akechi's hair to be brown.
He sprinted right out in front of the men, refusing to let them pass.
Stand aside, brat! Unless you want to end up swimming with the fishes. Try it if you dare, but you'll be the ones taking a swim.
His words were menacing, but the size difference between the petite boy and the Englishman was readily apparent. They looked like they could knock him aside with ease. I don't know if there's anything I can do. At this rate, he'll...
I suppose I'll need to step in. Akechi grasped the weapon at his waist. Stay here, miss.
Akechi!
He ignored me and followed in Kobayashi's footsteps, jumping between the men. He's got a slingshot? That's his weapon? Sorry, Akechi, but you'll have to save the lecture for another time. The two of them stood with their backs to one another. In Akechi's hands was his sword, whilst Kobayashi wielded a slingshot. You've got no idea how much suffering we've endured to get here. That still isn't good enough reason to lash out at them. Aren't you frustrated to have this happen first thing? If I weren't, would I be standing here with you? Akechi initially carried a look of resignation, but after adjusting his spectacles, his gaze sharpened. He returned his hand to his sword. I wonder if the slingshot is a literary reference. Oh, huh. Yeah, I've never read the Akechi books before. I only know that he was a detective. He was like Japan's Holmes. I know the original Kogoro Akechi was skilled in judo. Oh, huh. You're to assist me, Kobayashi.
了解
Got it!
泣いて後悔するなよ
You'll be crying to your bleeding mummies after we're finished with you. The men raised their knives and charged at the boys. They're hoping for a swift defeat before fleeing.
それはこっちのセリフだ
You'll be the ones crying when we've routed the lot of
成敗
you.
してやるよ
小林
I'll leave those I don't manage to defeat to you.
任せとけ
That suits me! Then they shot into motion. Akechi's blade cleaved in a sideways arc before him. The smugglers fell to the ground one by one. Each of their faces were etched with disbelief.
What? What did I just see?
何が起こったの
Akechi's counterattack was so swift. I had to strain my eyes to convince myself of what was happening. He waited for his opponent to attack. Then, just before they could, he was right before them and ready to strike. Seizing the opening, the hilt of his blade would make contact with their abdomen, the back of their neck, or other similarly exposed parts. By the time his blow had connected with his opponent, he was ready for the next. His movements were simply too fast for any of the smugglers to keep up with. Aye, this is more akin to dancing than fighting.
でも見ているみたい
Even standing a fair distance away and having a clear view of the action, I could only just avoid losing sight of him. His attacks struck with such force that the majority fell to their knees in agony, rendered unable to move. And there were a few who endured the pain for long enough to rise to their feet, but they were not prepared for this.
Ugh, damn you!
悪いけど豆とか種は全部船の中で食べちゃって切らしてんだ
Wish we could have made this easy on you, but we ate all the beans and seeds we had during the trip here.
そこら辺の石ころで我慢しろよな
You'll have to make do with being pelted with stones.
いで
These men, too, were quickly sent flying back to the ground by Kobayashi's slingshot. Together, the two of them made a perfect team, with Akechi serving as the vanguard and Kobayashi assisting him. Yeah, I haven't read it either. The most I know is either Persona 5, Detective Conan, or Bungo Stray Dogs. But neither of them are particularly an accurate portrayal of Kokoro. Yeah. I only really knew from Persona 5 myself. It took little time between them for all the smugglers to be at their complete mercy.
くそお前たちは一体
Bloody hell! Who are you?
あなたたちに名乗るほどのものではありませんよ
We have no names to give to the likes of you. You mean Kokoro does not actually get put to sleep by a 7-year-old? Listen, Kobayashi might be 7, you never know. Akechi gently slid his weapon back into its sheath. His stance was so elegant that he wouldn't have looked out of place at a high-class social gathering.
すごいわあんな大人数をたった2人で倒してしまうなんて
I'm stunned. They fought so many men without any outside help. Effortlessly at that.
やったなハケチ
We did it, Akechi!
Kobayashi ran joyously over towards Akechi and, with apt timing, more were to join us in our celebration.
Miss Whiteley.
Two of my schoolmates arrived to see to it that I was well.
ホームズワトソン
まったく校外学習は団体行動が基本だと言っていただろう
Truly, you are a marvel. Did Mr. Mackenzie not warn us against wandering off alone? Probably the closest is maybe Detective Conan, with Conan being technically Kogoro, since he's both athletically skilled and intelligent and leads the Detective Boys Club. That the original Kobayashi was a part of. I mean, there's an actual character named Kogoro, but kinda busy getting put to sleep by a 7-year-old.
こんな場所まで来るなんて僕は君の考えが理解できない
I fear your brain will be the one puzzle I'll never be able to solve. Not that I want to.
2人ともごめんなさい
I hope hope you two haven't fretted too much over me.
Alright. It is getting pretty late though. So I guess we will end it here for the day. I'm glad we finally got to meet Akechi. We finally met all of the romantic interests of this game. It only took like 6-7 streams. 14 hours. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming. So yeah, for anyone wondering, we will be doing SMT and Mysteria tomorrow. So no Umineko. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Have a good night, everyone. Yeah, I don't think we have any art. Yeah, so we're good. We'll be ending here.